So the day of judgment is here, allegedly, maybe. So we're taking a look overall at the FinViz or financial visualizations of the market. So if you look at the S&P 500, what happened when the fucking markets opened? Because it was slated for the markets to crash. That's what the futures market was saying. That didn't happen. What actually happened with the S&P 500 is that it fluctuated. It was significantly down, then it shot up. We're going to get to the reason why it shut up, or shot up, and it tended to fluctuate quite a lot. Now, keep in mind, it still did go overall down a little bit. Let's not mention that, it's overall been on a downward trend. But it has seemingly leveled off. Trump's tariffs are slated to go into effect on April 9th. So that's 2 days from now. All of these companies, these are all the American companies, they have all fluctuated. Some lost, some won, because let me tell you what actually happened. And it's fucking hilarious. This is the timeline of what happened that moved $4 trillion on the market just now, because this happened in the morning. Kevin Hassett gives an unremarkable Fox interview at 8:24 a.m. ET. Aaron fucking Rupar clips it as it does at 8:33 a.m. ET, and it does not get much notice. Some dude called at Delta One or Walter Bloomberg, random Bloomberg with a fucking blue check mark, misinterprets it at 10:13 a.m. and tweets the White House considering a 90-day pause. Goes up 7 to 10%. Yeah, $4 trillion was made in an instant. It gets fucking denied. And then this Walter Bloomberg person claims the news is sourced to Reuters, and that's why he deletes the original tweet. 4 trillion instantly made, and then it was like instantly fucking lost. People started buying the fucking dip immediately. Yeah, guys, I think it might be a bad thing that the main sort of interpreter of the economy can be fucking predetermined because of fucking tweets. One dude put out one fucking tweet because his fucking name is he's got a blue check mark, he's a Bloomberg, he must be credible. This shit gets tweeted out. This is the fucking Reuters headline. I saw the same fucking headline. And it caused this shit. And here's him deleting it. Where did you get this headline from? Reuters. And this is the main interview. Is this what started it? Hassett says yes to he heard the question, not yes in response to the 90-day pause. Kilmeade. So Aaron Rupar, he tends to sensationalize a little bit from tweets. Not giving an exact sort of interpretation, but, it's Aaron Rupar. People, broadly speaking, understand this. Because he's quite a clipper. He loves to clip. Would Trump consider a 90-day pause in tariffs? I think the president is going to decide what the president is going to decide. Even if you think there is some negative effect from the trade side, that's still a small share of GDP. Here's the actual interview itself. Let's see.
You do a 90-day pause? Would you consider that?
Or Bill, yeah, I think that the president is going to decide what the president's going to decide. Mm-hmm. There are more than 50 countries in negotiation with the president. We've got the prime minister of Israel coming today. We've got a reach out overnight from Taiwan. And but I would urge everyone, especially Bill, to ease off the rhetoric a little bit. The fact is that say 10% baseline tariff is on what, 14% of GDP. That's about how much trade we have, how many imports.
That's pretty fucking significant. Keep in mind, the GDP of the United States, that's still trillions of fucking dollars of wealth. Only about 14%, only about a seventh of GDP. Keep in mind, it's not like an exactly accurate measurement. Like, who the fuck cares? This is like some fucking Trump stooge. You just paid there to just say random bullshit. It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, 7% of about 28 trillion is still a lot of fucking money. What? That would be about, 4 trillion? About, give or take? Which is, explains this whole bit.
And so 86% of GDP is affected by the deregulation and the tax cuts and everything else. And even if you think, and I think a lot of us at the White House think that these economic responses are exaggerated by critics, even if you think that there will be some negative effect from the trade side, that's still a small share of GDP. And so the idea that it's going to be a nuclear winter or something like that is completely irresponsible.
Yeah, that's because the tariffs haven't gone into full effect yet. But I mean, the overall point sort of still stands. Guys, I don't think it's a good idea to base your economy off of the whims of like a random fake news tweet someone can sort of misinterpret. Because like it said here, this interview overall, rather banal. Nothing really going on here. But then you may be wondering, what's up with these fluctuations? This seems a little strange. That's a good question. I think this is the result of day traders more than likely trying to buy the dip. Trying to make a bet so you can fucking hold the bag, grab the bag and then hold the bag. They're trying to buy the dip because they see these crazy market fluctuations, which is reflected here in all these different fluctuations of all these companies. There's a bunch that are heavily in the red. There's a bunch that are heavily in the fucking green this year. Or this day, not this year. Yeah, truly the banality of evil. In any case, this is what happened just with the U.S. shares and markets. Why don't we take a look at the world? That's a lot of red and not a lot of green. Taiwan, all in the red. Australia, very few in the green. And who knows like what exactly day traders were doing there. China is all red. I think their overall market cap dropped by about 12%. Oh, Israel seems to be doing just fine. I wonder why that is. Probably no reasoning. Could be because of the recent talk they had. The UK shit in the bed. We're shit in the bed. I wonder why there's all these companies in the Cayman Islands. Couldn't be anything in particular, right? Argentinians, Brazilians, Chileans. Now, earlier in the day, this was significantly worse. This was all red. There was an image I found earlier about this. I think it was by the same account here, who just does like all the fucking news. We'll get to you eventually. But there's a reason why these fluctuations all tend to happen. Oh. It's because a bunch of day traders are trying to buy the dip. Similar happened in the overall sort of global economy. A bunch of people were seeing everyone's shit in the bed, everything's hitting the fan. Time to buy the dip, bros, and see if we can make some fucking money out of it. Because people knew this is going to cause a complete shit show disaster in the market. Now, obviously, there's still Wednesday, April 9th, when the tariffs do actually go into effect. We'll see what happens there. See if, like, I don't know, if whatever negotiation happens. This is like, it's like 50 different fucking countries or some shit that are in negotiations with the U.S. to try to do something about the tariffs. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen at this point? At this point, we just kind of have to play a waiting game. And we know that Trump is very serious about this. Trump vows to veto bill blocking tariffs as markets reel. President Trump pledged to veto a bipartisan bill aimed at stripping his power to impose tariffs. If passed, this bill would dangerously hamper the president's authority and duty to determine our foreign policy and protect our national security. Standard fucking blurb. Read out White House statement to the congressional offices on Monday, first reported by Axios. Yeah, we know that a bunch of Democrats and Republicans are saying, like, yeah, we don't really fucking want this because it's going to cause a complete fucking shit show disaster. Now, the question is, does this get through in the House and the Senate? Because to make it veto-proof, it has to be a supermajority in both sort of branches of the government. I don't know. The question is like, who would be in favor of this and who would do this? Because the real question is what? It would be in the Senate, right? Republicans have the most control in the Senate. I know that a bunch of Democrats have had weird rhetoric on this, saying that they're supportive of the tariffs. Maybe for like weird fucking political reasons. I don't know why. It's kind of strange. Honestly, I would just say, like, you should probably rhetorically say that you are against the fucking tariffs because it's going to devastate your constituencies. Instead of getting, like, weird, like, political dunks on the Republicans have plenty of other time. They'll have plenty of other opportunities to shit on themselves politically. Let's be quite honest here. The question is like, will there be enough votes in the Senate that cross over in order to, push the bill through to the presidency, and will it be veto proof? That's like a complete other question. But if passed into law as is, the bill would require the president to notify Congress 48 hours before any new tariffs are implemented, as well as provide an explanation for why they are needed. Oh, brother, you definitely don't want that. Like, considering the fucking Signal chat leaks, how much the fucking president is trying to, like, hide information from people, it's insane, dude. Like, he's not gonna want to fucking comply with that shit. No fucking way. If that reason is determined to be not satisfactory to the majority of the Senate, the body could put a stop to them. Yeah, that's not fucking happening. Even if it was, like, veto-proof, would Trump cause, like, what? A potential, like, crisis, political crisis, and just say, like, and try to, like, veto something that's veto-proof anyways? Because then that'll make Congress act, because that's directly in sort of, because that sort of directly goes against Congress's power. They don't really give much of a shit about anything unless it's their power that's in question. Which is why, Elon Musk trying to take over the duties of Congress on the purse was such like a hot button issue. Besides the fact of all the wretched bullshit that fucking Elon Musk was doing, but that's a whole other fucking can of worms, right? Even Elon Musk is disdainful of these tariffs. It's really, really funny, dude. Trump has justified his tariffs in the short-term pain they have occasioned by claiming they will ultimately make the U.S. a manufacturing powerhouse once again. It's just stupid. Like, why? I've talked about why this is the case. Well, why it's fucking stupid. The U.S. does not need to be a manufacturing powerhouse. Corporations in the U.S. make so much fucking goddamn money that it's really easy for the U.S. to just import in a lot of the rudimentary products that they fucking need in order to be able to produce, well, more advanced stuff. That's how it fucking works. Jesus Christ. It's really stupid because he wants to bring back the steel mills. I want to bring back the mills. That's what I want. And again, I've even said this before. Are Americans gonna want to do simple fucking like textile work or some shit? No, the fuck they're not. That is back-breaking, hard manual labor. Are Americans gonna want to fucking do that stuff? Do they even have the labor pool in order to be able to do this? Or are they gonna have to import in a bunch of migrants who are willing to do that work? The conservatives have never asked themselves that question, right? They never got to that sort of point, ever. But, let's not really think about it. Just do the tariffs anyway, forehead. Like, it's silly. That's why, like, people are saying, like, this is just really fucking dumb. This is the most silliest fucking bullshit on the fucking planet. And again, like, we know the sort of byproducts and results. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens at this point. Market's closed. What the hell is going to happen? I don't know. But, I mean, the overall point should be fairly obvious. Maybe, just maybe, the economy should not be pre-fucking determined by all these, like, random whims of, like, a fucking tweet and shit like that. And maybe the tariffs are just, they're not going to pan out exactly like Americans are going to think like it is. Because let's be honest, he's trying to do that to rebuild manufacturing. Are Americans willing to do manufacturing jobs? Are they actually going to want to do it? That remains to be seen. Personally, I doubt it. I don't really think that's going to happen. But who the hell knows what's going to happen? Really, the sort of main sort of test is going to be on the 9th, when the tariffs actually are supposed to go into effect. And that's when shit might really hit the fan. Just gotta wait and see at this point. Oh yeah, you want to know the funniest thing about, like, all this shit that's going on? The Chinese embassy in the U.S. posting a speech in 1987, I'm going to assume soon after Black Monday, of Ronald Reagan making a speech. What do you got, Reagan? This is the most goofiest shit I've ever seen on the planet. God.
You see, at first, when someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. What eventually occurs is, first, homegrown industries start relying on government protection in the form of high tariffs.
Which is currently going on with all American auto manufacturers, because, again, they make shit products and they're not able to compete with better products made by the Europeans and the Chinese. But, yeah, this is really funny coming from Ronald Reagan.
They stop competing and stop making the innovative management and technological changes they need to succeed in world markets. And then, while all this is going on, something even worse occurs. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. The result is more and more tariffs, higher and higher trade barriers, and less competition. So soon, because of the prices made artificially high by tariffs that subsidize inefficiency and poor management, people stop buying. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs.
Depression time, boys. Let's go.
The memory of all this occurring back in the 30s made me determined when I came to Washington to spare the American people the protectionist legislation that destroys prosperity.
Yeah, by doing a bunch of market deregulation instead that shipped even more jobs out of the U.S., causing, well, a fucking further collapse of the American middle class. But let's not talk about that with Ronald Reagan.
Now, it hasn't always been easy. There are those in the Congress, just as there were back in the 30s, who want to go for the quick political advantage, who risk America's prosperity for the sake of a short-term appeal to some special interest group.
Oh my fucking God, dude. He is correct. We know why Trump is doing these tariffs. He wants to cause a recession on purpose so that there's a fire sale for private equity to buy it up, buy everything up, strip it for parts, and sell it off to the next bidder. So that there is more corporate consolidation. Hierarchy of control. That's what this is all about maintaining. It's just insane, dude. Imagine getting owned by fucking by the Chinese embassy here with the Ronald Reagan fucking speech. We know what's going to happen. It's not going to work. It's going to be a complete fucking disaster. It's just going to be a shit show. Like, that's what's going to happen. But again, the reasoning for as to why they want to simplify the fucking economy in the US, because that's what he wants to do, is it makes it easier to maintain control. That's the point of all of this. It is way easier to tell workers to go to their fucking manufacturing job or fucking mining job instead of being able to work a good, high-paying union job with benefits and everything. Lets the bosses be even able to abuse you way more fucking easily as well. Like, that's the point. That's the point in all of this. It's all about maintenance of control. That's it. I know that Sean Fain has also talked about like how these tariffs could be good at bringing back jobs in like American auto manufacturing. I know that's also been a thing, and I don't really know why. Like what? Compromise and just like what? They have something on him. I really don't understand why. It's just really strange.